Look closely at this landscape. Wide open, quiet, and deeply rooted in agriculture. It is easy to look at a plot like this and picture your future. A new house, a small business. You save up, you sign the papers, and the land is finally yours. But this is where a lot of buyers fall into a trap. Holding a purchase deed makes you the owner, but it doesn't give you the right to pour a single drop of concrete. To do that, you need one specific document, the Land Conversion Certificate. This piece of paper is the only legal way in West Bengal to reclassify your plot from agricultural use to non-agricultural use. Without it, your dream construction project is an illegal liability from the very moment you break ground. To understand why the state has so much say over your private property, we have to look at the West Bengal Land Reforms Act of 1955. This table breaks down the reality of that law. The state strictly tribarizes every inch of soil to protect agricultural land from unchecked urbanization. Sections 4A through 4D make the rule clear. You cannot alter the land's character without the state's express permission. If you want to build, you have to shift that category to non-agricultural. That means classifying it as Bastu for a homestead or designating it for commercial use. Even though you bought the land and pay the taxes, the government holds the ultimate veto over how you utilize it. You are effectively a custodian of the land's current category. Changing it requires their explicit blessing. This brings us to the biggest roadblock for new property owners, mixing up mutation with conversion. This chart shows the proper order of operations. Step 1 after buying is mutation. That is simply the administrative process of updating the government's tax records so the land is officially in your name. But look closely here. Mutation only updates the name tag. It gives you zero rights to change how the land is actually used. That is where conversion comes in. This is a separate process for updating the land's permitted usage. And here is the catch. These cannot happen at the same time. You cannot legally apply for conversion until the mutation process is complete and registered. It is frustrating, and it adds a chunk of bureaucratic waiting time before you can lay a single brick. Because of that delay, a lot of buyers try to skip the second step altogether, assuming their new mutation certificate is enough to start construction. Confusing ownership rights with usage rights is the primary reason real estate projects get legally stranded in West Bengal. When you are ready to apply for conversion, your starting point is the Banglar Bhumi portal, the state's digital gateway for land records. You will need to submit a 10 rupee application fee, your title deed, updated tax receipts, and specific land use maps. While the application itself is cheap, this chart shows how the actual conversion fees scale up depending on your location. Moving from a rural plot to a municipal or KMDA zone means higher fees, mapping directly to your project's commercial impact. Once submitted online, the review goes analog. The Block Land and Land Reforms Officer will conduct a mandatory physical site inspection to verify your documents match reality. You have to factor in a rigid waiting period of 30 to 90 days, and that timeline stretches longer if they find any discrepancies. These fees and waiting periods are mandatory project investments you have to budget for from day one. So, what happens if you decide to take a shortcut? It is tempting to just start building on agricultural land to save a few months and a few thousand rupees. The first wall you will hit is financial. Banks will instantly deny your home loan or loan against property applications if the structure sits on unapproved land. Then comes local enforcement. The authorities can levy heavy financial penalties and mandate the demolition of your unauthorized buildings. But there is a uniquely severe penalty written directly into the Land Reforms Act, a process called vesting. Vesting means the government legally seizes the land back from you because you violated the usage rules. Your entire asset is wiped out. Facing the total loss of your property and the demolition of your work makes a 90-day wait on the Banglar Bhumi portal look like a very small price to pay. Handling this correctly turns the conversion certificate from a hurdle into the document that unlocks the land's market potential. This strategy scorecard maps exactly how you should handle the rules based on who you are, the home builder, the developer, or the buyer. If you are the home builder, you must absorb the delay. Do not break ground or schedule contractors until the BLLRO officially signs your conversion order. For the commercial developer, you need to bake those higher municipal and KMDA conversion fees, along with strict pollution control NOCs, into your earliest ROI models. Without that finalized certificate in hand, securing any kind of enterprise project financing is going to be impossible. And if you are the land buyer, never pay a premium price for a plot marketed as residential if the seller can only produce a mutation certificate. Always log on to the Banglar Boomi portal and independently verify the conversion status yourself before you sign the closing papers. In West Bengal, a purchase deed makes you an owner on paper, but only a conversion certificate gives you the power to actually build your future.